did you find the condoms that were missing?
Eventually, they turned back up.
Wait a minute. How does that happen?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying, because I thoroughly looked.
Yeah, she is a bad snoop. Them condoms was always there. I never did anything with them.
Okay.
She checked and she found them later. Actually, I need to throw them things out at this point.
They causing you a lot more trouble than they were.
You need to make sure I'm there when you throw them.
I was about to say, make it a party.
Like, for real.
Your Honors, we have case 2086, Mitchell Rose versus Rose.
Good day, everyone.
Day.
Miss Mitchell Rose and Mr. Rose, from what I read in the court file, sounds like newlywed bliss has turned into newlywed mess. Tell me what's going on.
Your Honors, I'm here today because we got married about 8 months ago, and we did not live with each other until after marriage. Since we have moved in with one another, there have just been some things that are off. I feel like some shady behavior is going on with him. And basically, I asked for a polygraph test today because I have found some things that I find to be very, very suspicious. And I really need to know the truth about these things because I feel like it's not too late to nip this thing in the bud.
And we'll get into some specifics in a moment, but when you say shady behavior and suspicious things, can you give me just like a brief bullet?
First of all, like some staying out late and not answering the phone, having another phone that was out and in use that, you know, he didn't really have a good explanation for. There were some condoms in a drawer that,
Okay.
so some things like that, yeah.
So that gives you some idea, okay.
Yes.
And Mr. Rose, you're here because you don't think there's anything suspicious or shady going on, true?
Yeah, I know. No, there ain't nothing shady going on. I'm here to prove to my wife that I'm a stand-up guy, I'm faithful, and I'm not out there doing nothing crazy. And after this polygraph test come back showing that I've been honest, I would love for a heartfelt, sincere apology because I feel like she's wasting my time with all this. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to save my marriage, so, you know.
Here we are.
I'm here we are.
Okay.
All right, well, we got the stakes outlined. So yeah, Miss Mitchell Rose, tell us how you met.
So we met about 6 years ago at a restaurant. I was there with a girlfriend of mine, and we were outside, and I saw him from across the way. I guess he saw me too, so he came walking over, and basically from that day forward, we've pretty much been inseparable.
So you all dated for a period of time, but never lived together?
Never lived together.
Okay. And how long did you all date before you got married?
About 5 years. 5.5 years. He proposed within the 4th year, and then we were engaged for 2 years.
And is that how you remember meeting her, Mr. Rose?
Yeah, I actually met her on accident. I went to the wrong place.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you all are dating, you're enjoying each other enough to get married, get engaged and get married. When did you start to have issues with Mr. Rose?
Well, the first thing was when we got married and moved in, then we never shared locations, okay? But then he started asking me for the GPS location. He never asked for that before, and I was asking him, I was like, why do you want my location? And he was like, just so I can know where you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I need to know. And I'm like, okay, you know? But then, like, every single time that I look on the location app, my location is shown, but his always says battery saver. And with the battery saver, it doesn't show your exact location. So it's a little bit shady to me that his is always on battery saver. And I actually submitted that into evidence for you guys to see.
Okay.
Yes, so if you see Mr. Rose Liebert, his says battery saver on since whatever time that was.
Does the time change every day?
Yes, it changes all the time.
Okay, so it's not like it's on.
So you can tell when he puts it on, yes.
Okay, I got a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Rose, why did you decide after you all been together 5 years, 6 years, that you need her GPS location?
I think it's only right, Your Honor. I mean, my goal is to keep her safe.
You didn't care about keeping her safe before you got married?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I did, you know, we kept in touch. I mean, we talked every day since we met, so it's like,
okay, so what
no-brainer.
changed beside you saying I do to make you need to know her location?
It's just another level of security, Your Honor.
Okay, so why is your location not on?
I work 10 to 12 hours a day on my job.
Okay.
I have multiple apps that I have to keep open, and that drains my battery. There's a setting that says battery saver. And when I check that, it disables the location. So it's not that I'm intending to be shady, but I'm trying to save my phone for the rest of the day.
But then at nighttime it's on.
She sends me a text, cut your power saver off. She sends me texts. Yeah, cut your
Yeah,
password off.
I have to swallow my pride and send a text.
Okay,
And-
so have you ever received a GPS location? You're like, what you doing over there?
Sometimes I'll wonder why he's like in different places for like a certain period of time. You know what I'm saying? That I don't necessarily know about, like late at night.
Not when he's working.
No, definitely not when he's working.
Talking about late at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely not when he's working.
And does this happen often where you're like,
That I have to send him a text?
well, no, that you send the text, you see the location, you're like,
No, usually when I send a text and see the location, he's somewhere he always, you know.
It's
that he normally
okay.
is. Yes.
Any other thing that is suspicious or shady behavior as you put
Well, it's just like I said, this is one thing that I was majorly concerned about and that I really, want to know what's going on, because there was one day he left to go somewhere. I go upstairs and in the bathroom there is this other phone. To go somewhere, I go upstairs and in the bathroom there is this other phone. I pick the phone up and then like a picture comes on it. It's not his regular phone and it's on, meaning that it's been in use.
Yeah.
So where's this phone come from? Like, what is this phone doing or whatever? So then I started just like snooping around the room. Not really snooping. I mean, it's my room, it's his room. I'm going through the drawers and stuff, looking to see like, what I could see. Because there are some condoms that's in this drawer and they've been there. And every time I look in that drawer, they be there. I look in the drawer and the condoms are not there. And then there's a phone. So I'm tripping. I'm like, okay, what is going on? But again, I don't want to be like, oh, I snooped and so I really don't say anything about it. At first, I kind of just get an attitude. Then finally, he's like, why do you got an attitude? And I'm like, what you doing with this phone? And then so I just let it all out. And there were some condoms in that drawer and they're not there no more. He's like, they probably are still there. That you just, you're just tripping and all that. But I'm like, well, what are you doing with the phone? He gives me the phone. But like I said, I'm really not, I be trying not to be that girl that's like all suspicious and insecure and all of that. So I don't even know. Plus, I'm not gonna sit there and look through the phone while you sitting there looking at me. But anyway, he was like,
wait, I'm gonna stop you. I got a question. Did you find the condoms that were missing?
Eventually, they turned back up. But
wait a minute. How does that happen?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying, because I thoroughly looked.
Okay.
And they were not there.
Okay,
and
so
it turned out where?
In the same drawer where I seen them before.
Okay, so
but that day they were not there.
So how many days later did you go back and look?
I don't know. It probably was a couple of weeks.
Okay.
It was a couple of weeks. I didn't look immediately.
All right, so that's one. Number two, the phone. What was the explanation about the phone?
He never did tell me why he had the other phone out. Never.
All right, Mr. Rose, I'm not gonna be nice like your wife. We gonna find out why you got a second phone.
Judge, I had a second phone because it cracked. I had to get a replacement phone, and I already paid for the phone, so I kept the phone. So I ended up with two phones.
Did you see a crack?
Got a big line in it.
Huh?
I didn't
Yeah, got a
ask you,
crack
I
on the
asked
screen.
her.
Oh.
Did you see a crack in the phone?
When I turned it on, I didn't notice no crack on the side. It looked like it was just regular phone to me.
So where is the
But
crack?
you were really looking for what was
Middle
in
of
the
the
phone. You really
screen.
weren't looking.
But
Oh, in the middle, he's saying in the middle of the screen there was a crack.
all I know is
line.
that phone was on. Whether it cracked, you could still operate the phone.
You can, but it's still a crack.
So why was the phone out?
Now let me explain.
Uh,
I do a lot of video.
Okay.
I have a lot of music on my phone. So my phone right now is almost full, so I use that as a backup. As well as it has apps that I can't download anymore because they're old apps, so I transfer them to my new phone. And I just keep that as a backup for space. I transfer stuff back and forth.
He never said that.
he didn't tell you anything about it?
Never said that. No.
So this is the first time you're hearing this?
Yes.
Because he just deflected when you talked to him.
He just deflected.
Phone's
Okay.
not connected, Your Honor.
That's exactly what he said. It's not connected. Like,
not.
So the day that the condoms were missing was the day that you found the phone?
yep. The
And
day
you
that
think-
I found it, I found the phone and then I looked to see if the condoms were still there.